Guys, so after talking about Kandinsky's abstract art, we're going to create our own Kandinsky inspired art piece using oil pastels and paper and a little bit of glue. So what we want to do first is taking our paper, we want to write our name and flip using pencil. And then what we want to do is we want to get two perfect folds. So what we're going to do is we're going to take our bottom edge and line it up with our top edge and match up those corners the best you can. You want to try to get it as perfect as you can. What I like to do is hold the corners, slide it down, get that nice fold, almost just like a birthday card. Then open it back up, turn it, and do the same thing again. Fold the bottom up to the top. Since you already have a fold in there, it might make it a little bit hard, but match up those corners the best you can. Hold with your fingers, push it down, fold it like a birthday card. When you open it back up, you should see 4 different squares. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. Next, using your oil pastels, you're gonna pick probably 5 different colors. And what you're gonna do is you're gonna repeat the pattern in those 5 areas. So, my pattern is going to be neon pink, regular pink, purple, green, and blue. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my first color, and in the middle of the box, I'm going to just do a circle. So try to get as close to the middle as you can and do a circle like Kandinsky. It should be about the size of a quarter or a coin. Then what you're going to do is repeat the same thing in the next box. The goal is to make all of your boxes look exactly the same. So there's a second one. I'm going to move to my third one, doing that circle about the size of a quarter, and then doing my last one. Then I'm going to move to my next color, which is my regular pink, and I'm going to do a circle around that one and fill it in. What I don't want is white spots. So really try your best to move that oil pastel where it needs to go. If you overlap a little bit too, you'll see some beautiful blending happening with those oil pastels. So what you do in the first box, you're gonna repeat in the 3 other boxes. So I'm gonna fast forward through this part just so you can see what it looks like when it's done. Perfect, so it looks like I have some white spots around my page. You can also see how I turned my paper when I moved. If that helps your coloring, that'll also help you. Since we have some white spots, I'm just gonna pick one more color and I'm gonna fill in all of the white spots. So I'm gonna take my green and I'm just gonna blend in those white spots so there's no white area. If you notice any white spaces too or any areas that need to be a little bit darker, go ahead and fix them. So I think my purple's a little light. So I'm gonna go ahead and make my purple darker, and I might make my blue darker as well. So I'm just gonna layer, so do another coat, another layer of that oil pastel wherever you think it needs it, and double check for any white spots. All right, my piece is completely filled up. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna flip it over and you'll see your fold lines. What you're going to do, your first 2 cuts are gonna be along your fold lines. So working very slowly, cut along the folds. I'm gonna go all the way across first, working with little snips of my scissors, then cut the second fold, and then the other part of the second fold. Working very slow. We want to keep these cuts perfect. Okay, you should end up with 4 pieces. Since we're still on the back, what I want you to do is the same fold as before, but on all 4 pieces. So you're going to take the first piece, fold it in half, open it up, fold it in half again. So same fold as the first time. You should end up with 4 boxes. Do that on your other 3 pieces. Fold in half and fold in half. Try to keep these perfect because we want them all exactly the same size. All right, so they should all be perfectly the same. Now we're repeating another step. We're gonna cut on our folds. So you're gonna end up with 4, 8, 12, 16 small little pieces. Take your time on these cuts. Cut right on the folds. Cut the second fold. Cut the second fold, and then do that to all 4 pieces again. All right, perfect. So what you just did is you created your own puzzle. I know that sounds kind of silly, but when you flip all your pieces over, you have all of your beautiful color that you colored in the first step. Now what you're gonna do, using your black sheet of paper, I want you to write your name using white crayon or pencil. Flip it over. And you're gonna arrange your puzzle, but wrong. So what you're gonna do is start to put your pieces in random order. You can put them however you want. You can have them make sense. You can have them turned. You can have them doing swirls. You can have them going the wrong way. Put them however you think looks nice. So you want to think about placement of these pieces, and they don't have to make sense. What you're gonna have is 4 across the top, 4 along the side. So all of your pieces will fit perfectly on top of this black sheet of paper. So what I like to do first is I like to lay them out and see what I like and see what I don't like. All right, I think I have it to a good spot where I like it. And as you glue, if you find a spot that you don't like it, you can always change it. So we're gonna use our white glue for this. And when we glue, we have to be pretty particular. The black paper will fit all of the white paper perfectly without any hang-offs. So I don't want anything in, I don't want anything going off the edge. What I want you to do first is glue in the outside. So the edges first, and then do the inside. With our glue, you're gonna just use the paintbrush, get a little dip, do some dots, and put your piece down. Remember, you want it to be perfectly lined up. Okay. If it helps you too to move these up, get your glue, do a line of it, and then put your pieces down right in a row. You can do it that way too. So I've got my top, and then I'm gonna work along my edges, and then I'm gonna do the bottom and then the inside. So I'll let this fast forward through this part. Notice how perfectly I'm gonna put them onto the page. There we go. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna flip it over and press from the back, just to make sure everything is down as flat as I can get it without smudging those oil pastels. And when you flip it over, you have this abstract Kandinsky inspired design. When you're done, this needs to go into the drying rack. Your paintbrush needs to get wiped down like that. So swoop it all on the edges, put this in the sink, put your cap on your glue, and your masterpiece in the drying rack.